If you guys are thinking about moving to San Diego and you're looking for a great spot for that community feel, centrally located, nice amenities right around here, this might be the spot. Today we are in Rancho Carrillo. We're gonna show you around and everything you need to know about this master plan community right here in Carlsbad. And some things are good. We're gonna show you some bad too, but we're gonna hop around, show you the neighborhood, show you the amenities, schools, all the important things you gotta know if you are thinking about moving out here. So let's get into it right now. And right now our location is Rancho Carrillo Historic Park. This is like the heart of Rancho Carrillo. This is where it all started. This whole area before it got built out was owned, and it was a working ranch by Rancho Carrillo. Actor back in the day, he owned a ton of space out here before this place did get built out in, late 90s / early 2000s. Right here in Rancho Carrillo. And so this Central Park, you got about 27 acres, some walking trails through here. A lot of people come here for family pictures. You're gonna find they have events and stuff down here. So it's a cool central area. The whole area as a whole, that might be one of the cons. There's not a ton of parks within Rancho Carrillo, but we'll highlight a few, we'll mention a few as we go through that are within this Carlsbad area, because Carlsbad right here in San Diego has some of the best parks. So if you got kids, you wanna get out and about, we're gonna show you all that stuff as well. So let's go take a look at Rancho Carrillo.
So Rancho Carrillo is located in Carlsbad, but Carlsbad is about 35 minutes, 40 minutes to the San Diego airport. So if you're coming from there, that's kind of the ballpark, or if you're commuting, that's gonna be your normal commute. And it is pretty much all residential. Actually, it is all residential other than this community park and just the trails and everything. Not a lot of amenities, but amenities are super close. So we're gonna show you some of those in a little bit. But as a whole, Rancho Carrillo is just a lot of housing and a really tight community. So it is one HOA, one big community, but there are 18 different villages, as we say it here, in Rancho Carrillo. Different price points, different sizes, pretty much anything and everything you could need here in Rancho Carrillo. But Chris is gonna get into a little bit more detail and show you a little bit more on the map in the studio.
So Rancho Carrillo is right around Rancho Carrillo Park where we started, right here in Carlsbad. You can see from downtown, it's in the North County section of San Diego. As we zoom in here, you're gonna see right next door, if you guys have heard of Bressi Ranch here, just to the east, you have Lake San Marcos, and then one of the main thoroughfares, like we mentioned, there's no freeways here, but you have Palomar Airport Road going on here. And we might mention it a little bit later too, but on the north section here is the flight path for Palomar. So Palomar Airport's right over this way, and you will get some planes flying in. And we have a few clips of the smaller planes flying in, but sometimes you do get some commuter jets and stuff coming in. So if you are on the northern section here of Rancho Carrillo, you're definitely gonna get some plane noise. So if you're living here, we're just going from the park, but the neighborhoods are back here, so close enough. But you're about 17 minutes or so from the beaches. This is just going to South Carlsbad State Beach. You can't go straight down to Palomar, but these are just like cliffs, so not really a good hang beach. And then if you are heading down to the airport, you're looking about 35 to 55 minutes. When I just brought it up at the current time, it said it's just about an hour because there's some traffic going down here. There's some traffic down this way. So depending on what time, obviously is going to affect your commute. So we're basically directly due east of Legoland here. And here are the 18 different little villages or neighborhoods within Rancho Carrillo. We have some bigger homes on this section here with some good views overlooking some open space. You have some larger homes down to the south. Some of this area up here is where you're gonna find the townhomes and condos. And then you're gonna find a good mix of stuff in this side and on the west side over here as well. So a few different options as far as housing, as far as pricing, as far as square footage, which we're gonna get into right now.
So let's get into the housing here in Rancho Carrillo. Like we've mentioned, it is a master plan community, an HOA. Not a ton of character. So if you're looking for kind of that custom feel, this is probably not the neighborhood for you. All these houses are tract houses, mostly kind of that Mediterranean, California style, lots of stucco, lots of tile roofs, as you can see in the houses behind us. It is trash day, so we're maneuvering around trash cans here, as always, when we're filming. So anyway, if you're looking for that kind of custom, you're not gonna find it. You can add your own touch. There's a lot of original owners here, but we have also seen people move in, kind of update the painting, kind of a little bit more of that white and gray scale that you see a lot in new housing. So are seeing that every now and then here. So what you're looking at housing wise, just kind of sizes and types of housing. There are single family houses, there are townhomes, which we'll show you a little bit here too. But where we're walking now is kind of the bulk majority of what you see in Carrillo, which is kind of that 20 or 2,000 square foot up to around 3,000 square foot houses. There are some bigger homes on the other side over by Leo Carrillo Park that are going to be up to 4,000 square feet, but the vast majority of the houses here are going to be kind of in this wheelhouse. And we do have a bunch of friends, clients that have bought here and have lived here for a long time, and they love the lifestyle. Trails, which we're going to get into and show you in a little bit, the amenities just around the corner, which we're going to get into, schools, like this neighborhood we're walking now, you can walk straight from here to the elementary school, and which is just a great amenity, either walking on trails or walking on the main roads here. So as for the condos and townhomes in here, they're a lot more like townhomes. You've got garage, either a patio or backyard, a really cool space. They're all around 1,000 square feet, a little bit bigger in some cases. And there's a couple of different communities to pick from. So kind of the same feel in both of them, but just kind of different areas of Rancho Carrillo. And two potential negatives. This is all part of an HOA. If you are living in one of the townhome communities, it is going to be an additional HOA. So the main one is a little over $100. You have community area amenities, you have some events, you have the swim center up here and clubhouse. So that's what you're getting for the main general HOA. If you're in one of the townhome communities, it's going to be a little bit more. It tends to be $300 or $400 more for just that HOA as well. So just something to keep in mind. We've been showing property recently. A lot of condos or a lot of properties, the HOAs are going up a little bit. So we have a listing in Carlsbad right now where the HOA fee is over $600. We've showed a property recently where it was closer to like $350, $400. So they do kind of vary depending on age, insurance, all of the different kind of factors that go into HOAs. And then the other negative is Palomar Airport Road is just over the hill here and kind of is one of the borders of Rancho Carrillo. And that is going to be the flight path to the airport. So you do get a little bit of airplane noise here. You tend to get used to it. Depends on kind of where you are in the community, how much you get, but it is just something to keep in mind when you're looking in Rancho Carrillo.
We'll jump into amenities real quick, but if you guys want to know like pricing and all that stuff, it's kind of going to vary. So if you want to know where we're at right now, got to reach out, call, text, email. We'll give you all that info and kind of figure out, you know, what's the affordability up here, because we are a little bit further close. We're a little bit closer to San Marcos. So we're like on the eastern portion of Carlsbad. So it tends to be a little bit more affordable than the coastal areas. But as far as amenities go right here, you're going to find some awesome stuff. So right now, you got some trails, right? This whole neighborhood, there's access to all these trails right here. It's not a huge trail system. You're looking about like 3 miles, maybe 4 miles worth of trails, but it does connect to some other awesome trails right around here. And so it's not like people are moving here specifically for the trails, but it's awesome way to get off the streets, kind of cruise out here, get out and about. There's a lot of open space out here. So as we're looking right behind Casti, a lot of these houses are set up, so a lot of them do have views as well. So if you're looking for somewhere with views, there's a lot of opportunity up here where they didn't, since they built it in the early 2000s, they left a little bit of space out here. So it's not like tight, like if you go to new construction in Encinitas, Fox Point Farms, crazy tight in there. You go to some other new areas, crazy tight in there. Here, you got a little bit of space, spread out a little bit. But like I said, trails connect back this way. You're going to San Marcos, you connect to some of the trails in Bresci Ranch, and there's a bunch of other trails systems throughout Carlsbad as well. Carlsbad's like trying to keep some of the most open space in all of the North County, San Diego cities, coastal cities. I think they're at high 30s, maybe 40% of open space. So that's kind of one of their goals as they're going through. But other amenities, Cassie mentioned the swim center. So it's kind of set right by Leo Carrillo Park. So most of these areas you're going to be driving there. So it's not like a, you know, walkable to a lot of these. Some areas are, but for the most part, you're going to be driving there. There's also a little daycare right there as well. There's cool amenity if you're into toys, you go, you know, traveling, all that kind of stuff. They do have some RV storage, so it's not right within the community. It's kind of off El Fuerte, a little bit to the west, but it's first come, first serve. You do pay an additional fee for that, but if you got a big RV, you got some other stuff like that, you can't park it in your driveway. They got some areas right down there for you. Now living in Carlsbad, how close are we to the beaches? There's actually a few different beaches here. You could shoot right down Poinsettia. You got a straight shot down to, it kind of ends right at the campgrounds. Then you would go south a little bit. You're gonna end at Ponto, which is awesome beach. Big parking lot. Get the, what's it called? It's like a California Adventure Pass or whatever, where you get to park in all these parking lots. If not, you might, it's like 15 or 20 bucks. And so you have access to those beaches. And if you wanna go, like we mentioned, there's not a lot of amenities. We're gonna show you one of the amenities like really close to here shortly. But as far as like going out, date nights, all that kind of stuff, there's nothing really within here. You're not gonna find like a 7-Eleven, you're not gonna find convenience stores. It's just all Rancho Carrillo. But the place we're gonna show you is super close. You also have, you know, downtown Carlsbad to the north. You have Leucadia down to the south, Coast Highway, so a ton of restaurants and all that kind of stuff, which isn't too far away as well. A ton of other beaches too. If you just go straight down Palomar, you go north, you could hit Tamarack from there, you could hit a bunch of the other Carlsbad beaches. So you got plenty of choices for beaches right here from Rancho Carrillo. And then another amenity, it's right at the campgrounds, South Carlsbad State Beach. It's called the Camp Store. We filmed there, I forget what video we were filming, maybe AVR or something, but it's not brand new, but it's one of the only, like, you're right on the bluffs kind of restaurant, outdoor. They got live music, it's a good vibe down there. Go out there on, they got light shows during the holidays and stuff. So I've been down there a few times. Me and Cassie went down there as well while we were filming, like I mentioned. Grab a beer, just hanging out. So that is awesome. Newer-ish amenity to have right here in Carlsbad as well. So we were at Leo Carrillo Park where we started. That's more of like a, you know, I mean, maybe go for a picnic, maybe go look for the white peacock. You know, they have peacocks running around wild over there. But as far as like hanging out, they don't have like a play structure for kids or anything like that. But within Carlsbad, like I said, there's a few other parks that are right around here. So you could shoot down to Aviara Park, you could shoot down to Agua Norte, which is a huge park. And even if you have kids playing soccer, you're gonna, or you know, soccer, baseball, any of these sports, you're gonna be hitting a lot of these parks anyways. But there's a bunch of other areas to branch out that are within, you know, 5 or 10 minutes, not within Rancho Carrillo, but right around here, right in Carlsbad.
So one of the main amenities that are close to Rancho Carrillo is Bressi Ranch. So this is right where we are, and there is a ton to offer here. You have a Stater Brothers, Trader Joe's, CVS, you have a Sprouts back here, so pretty much anything and everything you need grocery-wise, and a ton of restaurants. So you have Corner Pizza, which is one of our favorites over here. You have Richard Walker Pancakes right behind us here if you're looking for a breakfast spot. You have Casero, which is one of our favorite spots here in Bressi Ranch. You have a bunch of also like more fast service like Borden Brew. You have Rubio's just over the corner. So there's a lot of amenities right here in Bressi Ranch, which is 5 minutes, 2 minutes from parts of Rancho Carrillo. But then you also have the Secret Target, which is kind of in South Vista, just over here. You've got the Costco, which is just down Palomar Port Road, a little bit further towards the coast in Carlsbad. You have the Windmill Food Hall down there, which is a really cool spot. You've got the company stores, the outlet mall down there. So a ton of amenities kind of within that kind of 10, 15-minute drive. Our office too, we are part of a cool little club called Bermuda Club, just around the corner. So if you're looking for office space or a co-op space, definitely check that one out.
Now, living here in Rancho Carrillo, you're thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Carlsbad schools. It's in Carlsbad, but that's not the case. So actually, if you're living in Rancho Carrillo, you're gonna be going to San Marcos schools, but it doesn't mean like you're driving to San Marcos until you get to middle school and high school. Right behind us is Carrillo Elementary School. This is like right within the neighborhood. So like Cassie mentioned earlier, a lot of these areas are walkable. So during school times, it's a mess out here. You can see a lot of kids cruising around, but this is the elementary school. Once you go to middle, you're going to San Alejo Middle School, which is not too far away, probably 10-ish minutes. And then you're gonna go to San Marcos High School. Now, I went to San Marcos High School back in the day, and it was like portables, it was run down, it was old. Since then, now it's not brand new anymore, but they rebuilt the entire thing. It's more like a college campus, just big buildings, redid everything, redid the football fields. They got some good programs over there. So anyways, it's a lot different than when I went to high school. There's also private school options. So right up the road, there's a school called Pacific Ridge, and it is an independent private school, 6 through 12. So if you wanted a different option, you could do that. But it is one thing, you're like, I'm Carlsbad, I'm going to Carlsbad schools, not necessarily when you're living right here in Rancho Carrillo.
So Rancho Carrillo, it's got some pros, definitely convenient location-wise, close to amenities. You've got the swim center here, you've got the Leo Carrillo Park, which is a cool spot to walk around. You have a ton of different types of housing options, obviously all track houses, but just different price points and everything. You have proximity to the ocean, you are only a 15 or 20-minute drive to the beach, so a ton to think about here if you are thinking about living in Rancho Carrillo. So some of the negative things that you might want to think about, obviously airplane noise, we mentioned before, the airport is just around the corner. If you are commuting down south, there's some businesses here in kind of that Carlsbad area, but not a ton. So if you are commuting to downtown area or Kearney Mesa or somewhere else, it is gonna be a little bit further off the 5 freeway. So you're gonna kind of have that drive and then some freeway driving as well. There is an HOA fee here, a main general HOA fee. So if you're looking for no HOA fee, this is not the community for you. There are also some additional if you're looking at townhomes or gated communities as well. So one thing we haven't mentioned yet is there is a Melrose. It is going to be paid on your property tax bill. And for you, it just means a little bit of an extra expense when you are thinking about moving to Rancho Carrillo. So also not a ton of character here in Rancho Carrillo. Most of the houses look the same. Even within the 18 different communities, they're pretty much that Mediterranean, California style, a lot of stucco. So not a ton of that custom feel. So if that's something you're looking for, or maybe you're not, maybe you are looking for a custom house or no HOA or some other amenities, definitely get in touch with us. Call, text, email. We got your back when moving here to San Diego.